Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer on the absolutely massive 2026 World Cup that is currently taking North America by storm. You know, the world's biggest sporting event is finally back, and honestly, it's already rewriting the history books. Today, we're breaking down this unprecedented tournament format, updating you on the early standouts, and analyzing the absolute heavyweights battling for global supremacy.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to unpack this monumental new era, map out the massive North American stage, check in on those early qualifiers, scout out some seriously dangerous dark horses, and then finish up by breaking down the favorites to lift that iconic trophy. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. A monumental new era.
All right, so gone is the 32-team system we've all known and loved since way back in 1998. Instead, FIFA has completely flipped the script with a groundbreaking 48-team format. So rather than your classic 8 groups of 4, we are now looking at 12 groups of 4. It's a fundamental shift that is completely changing how this tournament breathes and flows.
104. That is the sheer volume of matches on the schedule this time around. I mean, that's a huge jump from the 64 games we saw in Qatar, and let's face it, a serious test for sleep-deprived fans all over the world. But what does the 104 matches actually give us? In a word, access. This massive expansion is giving first-time qualifiers the actual runway to shine on the world's biggest stage. We're getting to see nations like Uzbekistan, Jordan, Cape Verde, and Curacao competing at this level for the very first time. Plus, it means long-absent squads like Scotland are making their first appearance since '98.
So, how exactly does a 48-team field get narrowed down? Well, Step 1 sees the top 2 teams from each of the 12 groups automatically advance. Pretty standard, right? But Step 2 introduces this thrilling twist. The 8 best third-place teams from across all the groups also advance to fill out a brand new round of 32. This is huge, because that best third-placed rule acts like a lifeline. It keeps hopes alive for teams that might stumble and have a slow start out of the gate. Suddenly, every single match, and frankly, every single goal, carries immense weight across the entire group stage.
Moving right along to Section 2, the North American stage. The geographic footprint of this tournament is quite literally spanning an entire continent. We are talking about 16 host cities distributed across 3 different nations. The U.S. is carrying the bulk of the load with 11 host cities, Mexico is bringing its unbelievably rich footballing heritage to 3 cities, and Canada is hosting the party in 2.
And across these cities, you're getting this incredible blend of history, intimacy, and just jaw-dropping scale. You've got the iconic Estadio Azteca down in Mexico City, a true temple of the sport, which actually hosted the June 11th opener. Then you jump over to BMO Field in Toronto, which offers a much more intimate, close-to-the-pitch atmosphere with just over 43,000 seats. And on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, you have these colossal professional American football stadiums bringing incredible infrastructure to the event, like MetLife Stadium in New York and New Jersey, which seats over 80,000 fans and is slated to host the grand finale.
All right, let's talk about the action on the pitch. Section 3, the early qualifiers.
As of June 23rd, the group stage has just been a total whirlwind, and 6 teams have already stamped their authority and booked their tickets to the new round of 32. Germany topped Group E with a vengeance, totally putting those recent early World Cup exits behind them. France cruised right through Group I, and defending champs Argentina comfortably took Group J. But honestly, the biggest story so far? Mexico and the United States. Both of these North American co-hosts won their respective groups, which just goes to show the undeniable, absolute value of playing in front of a passionate home crowd.
But I gotta say, perhaps the most fantastic storyline to emerge from the group stages so far belongs to Norway. They have officially advanced to the knockout rounds for the first time in 28 years. No way, right? It just confirms that their exciting new generation of talent has fully arrived, bringing them back to the elimination stages for the first time since 1998. It's exactly the kind of drama this new tournament structure was designed to highlight.
Which brings us to Section 4, Dangerous Dark Horses.
Because the field has expanded, the opportunity for a giant killer to go on a deep run has literally never been greater. Take Japan, for instance. Former captain Maya Yoshida hit the nail on the head, saying, "For me, reaching the quarterfinals, a stage we've never reached or even experienced before, is the main goal." And look, having famously beaten both Germany and Spain back in the 2022 group stage, Japan has proven they can hang with the absolute royalty of the sport. Their blend of technical quality, European-based players, and sheer team cohesion makes them a prime candidate to surprise everyone and shatter their own records.
And Japan definitely isn't alone here. We've got 4 other nations presenting some massive tactical threats. First up, Senegal.
Fresh off a historic 2022 quarterfinal run, they bring a squad packed with Premier League talent that is incredibly fast and totally unpredictable. Then you have Morocco. Even with the recent coaching change, they remain heavily stacked with really attractive technical footballers. Ecuador? They provide this incredibly solid defensive base that makes them a total nightmare to break down. And Turkey brings explosive energy, highlighted by really exciting young talents like Arda Güler. This tournament format gives these talented, slightly under-the-radar squad the perfect runway to do some serious damage to the traditional footballing hierarchy.
Finally, in Section 5, we need to forecast the true football titans. Let's look at the favorites to lift the trophy.
You just cannot talk about favorites without starting right here with Argentina. The defending world champions are still the absolute benchmark for international football. Ranked #1 in the world, they have shown incredible resilience and consistency since Qatar. And maybe most dangerously for anyone playing them, they have sky-high motivation as they rally around Lionel Messi for what is highly likely to be his final World Cup appearance.
Next up, we have France. Finalists in 2022, winners in 2018. France is just a formidable obstacle for absolutely anyone. They possess what is probably the greatest squad depth in world football right now. When you have world-class options ready to deploy at literally every single position on the pitch, combined with a proven track record of going deep into major tournaments, you are a perennial favorite for sure.
Then we've got this fascinating clash of philosophies to watch. On one hand, a resurgent Spain has reestablished itself as an elite force, driven by a hugely talented young generation and a clear, dominant, possession-based identity. Compare that to the sheer attacking firepower of Brazil. The five-time champions have an exceptional array of forward talent, and under the highly experienced guidance of manager Carlo Ancelotti, they are completely expected to challenge for the title despite a couple of recent tournament disappointments.
But hey, we can't ignore the challengers. The really crucial point to remember here is that the new 48-team format, specifically that best third-placed rule we talked about earlier, makes the path to the final highly complex and unpredictable. This allows incredibly complete teams, like a star-studded Portugal, or a dangerous rebuilding four-time champion like Germany, to easily catch fire at just the right moment and go on a magical run.
Everything we've covered today, the expanded format, the continental spread of the stadiums, those ambitious dark horses, and the established titans, it is all building towards one ultimate destination. It's a marathon of footballing drama that will finally conclude on July 19th at the 80,000-plus capacity MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
The expansion to 48 teams has already proven to be a real game-changer, bringing in new nations and just a dizzying array of matchups. So as you watch the rest of this historic, totally unpredictable tournament unfold over the coming weeks, keeping everything we've just discussed in mind, the only question left to ask yourself is, when the dust finally settles on July 19, who will be crowned world champions? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and enjoy the rest of the matches.